So the 4th of July is coming up, and personally, I like a good burger, and I know a lot of people do as well. But come around 2050, that may not be entirely possible due to the urbanization and loss of our farmland, from our population continuing to grow, overcrowding in that population areas, and the loss of our farmland. So me personally, I have done food presentations, so I've had to research food issues since I was around 10 years old. And both my aunt and my cousin both have food science degrees. My aunt actually used to work as the vice president for the Elliptic Corporation, and my cousin works at the FDA working on food sustainability projects. So, population growth that we're seeing is that by the year 2050, we're going to have to feed around 9 billion people. And most of this growth is going to happen in the developing countries, they're saying. In fact, the developed countries are going to have a population around 1.2 billion. Developing countries is going to have a population around 6 billion. And the least developed countries are going to have a population of about 1.6 billion. So the development levels for countries are based on their gross domestic product. That is, so some examples of developing countries are countries like Afghanistan, Honduras, and Somalia, while the USA is considered a developed country. So many people, when they hear these kind of arguments about the food, is why don't we just pack more people into a smaller area so then we can use the other areas that we gain from that to farm? Well, still that doesn't really work because we can't just crunch up together. But so for a person needs around 1.5 acres or 1.14 American football fields of arable land per year. Arable land is land that can reliably grow food. So by 2050, we should need around 13,500,000,000 acres of arable land. Another problem that I'll touch on real quick, it's not based on any of this, is the problem of runoff that these cities are creating with the asphalt. Then finally, the area of our farmland that's being lost every year is kind of true and not true at the same time. But it all depends on where you're looking. If you're looking in a developed country, then we are losing around, we have lost around 100 million hectares, or 187,201,046 American football fields of arable land since 1961 to 2010. A hectare is around 1.87 American football fields. While if you look at developing countries, they have gained around 300 million hectares of arable land since 1961, which equates to around 561,603,139 American football fields. So this topic is truly based on perspective. So I have told you the benefit, what urbanization is doing to our farmland, how much we are losing every year, and an overcrowding issue, and how much our population is going to grow. So I hope you leave this speech with a new perspective on your food. Thank you. Goodbye.